Television has a basic rule: anything can happen. As much as the team plans every detail and the scripts are aligned, reality tends to step in an unexpected way, whether it is a stumble, an overreaction, or a name mistake. Little mishaps turn into big stories. These unforeseen events transform ordinary shows into happenings that stick in the audience's memory and go viral on social media, showing that behind the cameras, real life sometimes beats the script. These will be the television moments you're going to watch today. Anyone who follows live newscasts already knows, one slip is all it takes and the internet does not forgive. That is what happened with Monica Quintero, host of the show Wake Up Central Coast in California. During a light chat with her colleague Dave Alley about the weather in some American states, she showed the mug she had on the table. The problem is that when she lifted the object, she ended up spilling cold water all over herself. The scene took everyone by surprise.
It gave me a mug like this. Did I just do that on air? I didn't know.
Dave tried to keep the topic on the weather, but the laughter was inevitable. He himself commented that blunder had everything to end up in the famous television blooper videos. In the end, Monica had to pull herself together in a hurry, still wet while the production rushed to change the subject. What was supposed to be a normal weather forecast turned into a national joke, a true instant classic of live on air. In Moscow, during a live segment on Mir Television's newscast, an unlikely moment ended up stealing the show. Reporter Nadezhda Serezhkina was calmly talking about the weather forecast when, suddenly, a dog appeared, bit the colorful microphone, and ran off as if it were a toy.
Будут показывать на этой неделе до 8 плюс 9 градусов. Стоять! Иди сюда! Эй, стой! Стой! Стоять! Ну, судя по всему, связь с нашим...
While the anchor, who was in the studio, tried to keep composure and change the subject, out on the street the reporter dropped the bulletin and dashed after the animal. It was quite a chase, with the journalist trying to catch up to the dog, who seemed to be having fun with the trophy. The worst part is that the broadcast was still live. Many people said the scene looked more like a prank than a serious newscast. But in the end, Nadezhda managed to get the microphone back, which was already a bit destroyed, and she even petted the dog, laughing at the situation. The episode became a joke on the internet and gained fame as one of the funniest mishaps ever aired nationwide. To begin with, no one expects to see a journalist getting embarrassed in front of the cameras. But when even the weather forecast turns into a chase after a dog, it is clear that live television always holds surprises. In the middle of a live broadcast, a journalist went through one of the biggest mishaps on television. He was speaking seriously about the end of a person when, out of nowhere, an insect flew straight into his mouth. Startled, he ended up swallowing the bug.
That led to Chris Wood's death. The is that? Shit! I'm dying in this country-ass town.
The problem did not stop there. The journalist got really irritated, started coughing, and right after lost his composure on camera. He swore, gestured, and seemed unsure whether to continue the report or drop the microphone. The studio had no reaction. The scene ran loose and in the end landed on the internet, where many people laughed at the situation. Many people said it was funny precisely because of the contrast. He was talking about a serious subject and suddenly he seemed to be fighting an invisible fly. Others remembered that to begin with, swallowing an insect is already rough. Now imagine going through that live nationwide. BBC's show was showing rugby player Kevin Sinfield taking part in a charity race. Everything was going normally, with host Charlie State commenting on the event and the camera following each pedal stroke of the team. The mood was upbeat and the online audience followed everything live. But then came the little problem. In the middle of the race, Kevin had to stop to answer nature's call. And he was not alone. A colleague also made the same unexpected pause. The camera, of course, did not forgive and captured everything live.
Apart from the fact that he is achieving a... okay.
The worst part is that Charlie and co-host Rachel Burden could not hold back their laughter at the situation. Those who were following the race saw that things do not always go as planned, and that even professional players can go through embarrassing moments. The incident ended up entertaining the audience and proved that sometimes even serious events can have unexpected mishaps. In a light moment on Venenosa Rio Grande do Sul from Record, the host got on a skateboard during the show, trying to show balance to the audience. A colleague held her hand to help while she practiced some forward moves. Suddenly, she decided to turn around and go backward on the skateboard. What no one expected was that her balance would let her down.
Que vergonha!
Even in pain, she could not hold back laughter. Lying down, still laughing hard, she tried to play it off, while the man who had been holding her also burst into laughter. The light, fun mood was contagious for the crew and the live audience. In the end, the host stood up, still laughing, and continued the show, proving that humor and an unexpected tumble can turn into guaranteed entertainment for everyone. The day started normally for Vanessa Medeiros, a reporter for Televisão Tribuna, but it ended with a live scare that no one will forget. She was in front of the police station covering a shootout on Morro do José Menino in Santos and sharing information about suspects. While speaking to the camera, Vanessa began to feel unwell. She apologized to viewers, saying she was not feeling well, but before she could recover, she lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground.
Esse homem que tá preso, vai ser preso e tá no hospital. Desculpa, gente, não tô me sentindo bem.
The moment caught everyone by surprise, including the transmission team, who quickly tried to organize the situation while the newscast remained on air. The news anchor explained a few minutes later that Vanessa had a drop in blood pressure, assuring that she was already fine. Even so, the scene became one of the most talked about moments of the day. On social media, many people highlighted the journalist's courage, who had gone out to cover a serious and dangerous subject, showing professionalism up to the last instant before fainting. A man who was taking part in a report decided to show his skills with a tennis racket and, unintentionally, hit the host Joe in the face with the ball. The shock was instant. The man was embarrassed, repeating several times that he was sorry and apologizing. The production tried to stay calm, but everyone in the studio started laughing at the situation. Joe, always good-humored, pretended he was going to sue the colleague and kept giving the interview as if nothing had happened, even though the ball's mark on his face was visible. The incident became the reason for general laughter and quickly spread on social media. Many internet users commented on the accident and joked about the man's questionable racket skills. Some even suggested he needed tennis lessons before returning to the studio. In the end, Joe and the colleague laughed together, and the audience got an unusual moment that quickly became one of the most talked about clips of the broadcast, the kind that stays in memory. Michael Scott was interviewing on a morning newscast a snake hunter who was showing a huge rat snake while explaining about exotic animals. However, suddenly, a gecko that was on a table jumped straight onto Scott's chest. The 53-year-old man was so startled that he lost his balance and fell. On the floor, he tried to get rid of the lizard while the entire studio burst into laughter.
Texas rat snakes are going to be one of the largest snakes that you find in the Metroplex area. What the
Scott managed to get up and, laughing, asked for the lizard to be removed from his clothes. He finished the segment, but the moment had already become a sensation. The worst part is that the recording went viral quickly. The public loved seeing that even journalists can freak out with fear, and that laughing is the best way out. During a report about parking meters in Jim Thorpe, something unexpected happened live. The reporter was interviewing a man about parking rules when he started doing calculations and realized he had made a mistake. The guy said the sign showed 4 quarters for 1 hour, but he thought that did not make up a full hour. The reporter tried to explain that it was correct, and that was when the man shrank with embarrassment, asking to delete the recording.
That's not an hour.
That's not an hour,
Not an
but
hour.
it is. And also,
A quarter, 15 minutes?
Rewind. Take that off. Take that off.
The man, upon realizing the mistake, was visibly sheepish, laughing at the situation, but the reporter kept calm and continued the story as usual. In the end, the man walked away laughing at himself, and the reporter earned applause for handling the segment, even with the unexpected improvisation, showing presence of mind. A Globo reporter in Goiás, Brazil, went through a real mishap during a live fire simulation. She was at the fire department showing how different extinguishers work. The plan was simple, to show that the old extinguisher put out fires in electrical materials and fuels, while the new one promised to put out even car seats and upholstered panels. The recording began with the fire lit in a drum. The old extinguisher did the job partially. The fire inside the car went out, but the seat kept burning. Up to that point, everything was within expectations. The problem started with the new extinguisher. While one firefighter explained its efficiency, another tried to put out the flames on the seat, but the fire did not want to cooperate. Even keeping the extinguisher's jet on for several seconds, the seat kept burning. The reporter had to improvise and ended the story disguising the situation. The audience watching live saw that practice does not always match theory and that even professionals can go through little unexpected problems during broadcasts. The video quickly drew attention on social media, with many commenting on the extinguisher's difficulty and the reporter's embarrassed face, who still kept her composure. Derek Thompson was narrating his last horse race in Wolverhampton when he went through a funny little problem. The legendary commentator went to give an interview to a reporter, and in the middle of the chat, Matthew Jones appeared beside them. The worst part is that Derek commented about the beautiful lady passing by, except Matthew turned to him and started laughing, making it clear that he was, in fact, a man. Derek was startled by the situation and asked if he really was a man, and the two laughed a lot.
Oh, you've been joined by a beautiful lady.
No, it's a man, actually, Derek.
Who's...
The awkward mood turned into fun for everyone following the broadcast. The audience loved the situation and the video quickly went viral, with many people commenting on Derek's mix-up. Many said the moment was hilarious and that the veteran commentator proved it is never too late to be surprised. The mistake made for a good story to tell, and Thompson left the scene to applause and laughter. During a live recording, a reporter was showing a street that was being paved. The problem began when a water truck showed up without warning. It was spraying water on the street to clear the asphalt dust, but the reporter did not notice. Suddenly, the jet hit her full on, along with the cameraman.
A duplicação vai ajudar o trânsito.
The water soaked everything, clothes, hair, and equipment. It was rough, the reporter shouted in surprise and then burst out laughing, showing that improvisation is part of the job on television. Those who were watching saw the situation happen live, and quickly, the video became a reason for teasing on social media. The crew took it in stride, showing that even embarrassing situations can yield good laughs. An AccuWeather journalist was in the studio explaining the weather forecast when he noticed something unexpected. To begin with, the television showing the weather images was touch-sensitive. He touched the screen and was surprised by what he could do. The man began playing with the television, zooming in on maps and tinkering with different features. His expression showed surprise and fun at the same time. Another colleague came over and also started touching the screen, laughing at the situation with him. The studio became the stage for an unusual moment, totally off script.
Oh, man.
The video went viral quickly and reached more than 1.5 million views. On the internet, many commented on the scene, saying it was amazing to see adults having fun with something simple. Some even joked that the journalist had become a child again in the moment. In 2021, Jackson Damasceno, a host for Rede Bandeirantes in Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, started the morning by proving that live TV doesn't always go as planned. While promoting the broadcast of a local rivalry match between two of the state's most traditional football teams, he decided to show off his ball skills. To begin with, Jackson wanted to imitate a play by Zico, a Flamengo idol, except the situation went wrong. He lost his balance and took a nasty fall. The worst part is that the camera caught everything live, and the fall quickly became a reason for teasing on social media.
Onde só tem o da massa. Que é isso, hein? Que intimidade é essa, papai?
The buzz was such that many people shared the video tagging the host, who kept joking about his own tumble. Jackson came out of the episode with the reputation of a star. For the fall, not for ball control, wrapping up the moment with lightness and charisma. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.